The latest update on the $2,000 fourth stimulus check and $1,000 monthly recurring payments. Let's get into it and discuss where we currently stand. Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video, as I am back each and every day in videos just like this one, laying out all of the latest updates and helping you understand what is actually going on during this time that is incredibly confusing, as there are so many different proposals and provisions floating around out there, and it's hard to keep straight what is actually going on. But don't worry, I'm here for you every single day, and I will continue to lay it all out in these short videos and help you out in any way that I can. So again, subscribe right down below the video so you don't miss any of my videos going forward, as of course it'll continue to be very, very busy with all of these announcements coming out over the coming days and weeks. So thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it, and just remember, I will continue to be here for you every single day. That is my promise to you. All right, let's get into it and discuss the $2,000 fourth stimulus check and these $1,000 monthly recurring payments and where we currently stand. So now I wanted to come back and give you this update simply because of the volume of comments I've been receiving on this lately, coming in asking me, hey, what happened to the $2,000 stimulus check? Is it still happening? Is it still on the table? Is it forgotten about? What's actually going on with it? Can you give us a quick update? So yes, thank you for reaching out. I do appreciate it. And yes, I will give you the latest update and let you know what's going on with this. So as we do know, there are multiple different proposals out there. I mean, when I say multiple, I really mean multiple. There are so many proposals out there on the table right now. It's almost hard to keep them all straight, figuring out, okay, like what is on the table still? What is forgotten about? What have they moved past? What is in action? What are they currently working on? What are they considering? There's all these different things going on. But we do know that a fourth stimulus check in the amount of $2,000 plus a $1,000 monthly recurring payment is still very much on the table, and it is still very much alive right now. Now again, I have to reiterate, it is also mixed in with multiple other proposals that are out there for additional stimulus checks, additional stimulus for low income and fixed income beneficiaries. There's a lot of other things that this is commingled along with. But yes, the $2,000 is still pretty much out there right now. In fact, there are a couple different groups out there who want a $2,000 fourth stimulus check. Now, in addition to this proposal that's out there right now for a $2,000 stimulus check plus $1,000 monthly recurring, there's also another proposal out there for just $2,000, just a straight $2,000 fourth stimulus check. So that one is there as well. But most recently, and again, we've talked about this before, but I want to mention it because it is another one of those that is out there right now, and that is the $1,400 stimulus check that was recently announced by the Senior Citizens League, where they want to send out this $1,400 stimulus check, or what I should say is they want Congress to issue this $1,400 stimulus check for low-income and fixed-income beneficiaries, specifically focused on Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, and seniors. Now, that one is out there as well. Now, one more thing that we need to recognize. We have also found from many different reports that the stimulus checks in 2020 lifted 11.7 million people out of poverty last year alone, not to mention the millions upon millions of people that were lifted out of poverty in 2021 as a result of the $1,400 stimulus check back in about March or April of this year, when we received that one just a few months ago. So we do know that stimulus checks absolutely do work, and they do lift people out of poverty. And we do know right now that the administration and many people throughout Congress are very much in tune with lifting people out of poverty. That is kind of like their jam right now, you know what I mean? Like when you turn on the radio and you hear your favorite song, you're like, yeah, man, this is my jam. Well, that's kind of how it goes with Congress, too. They hear people being lifted out of poverty, and they're like, yeah, this is our jam, lifting people out of poverty, right? So anyway, I know, quick, not a very good example, but I think you understand what I mean. You know what I mean? But anyway, so that's kind of what Congress is doing. You know, they're headbanging to people being lifted out of poverty. They think it's pretty cool stuff. And I think a lot of us also probably agree it's pretty nice that people are being lifted out of poverty. But we also do recognize that a fourth stimulus check, that's what we're on now, a fourth stimulus check would also lift an additional millions upon millions of people out of poverty once again this year. So even though they've already lifted millions of people out of poverty this year alone from stimulus check number 3, if they just so happen to issue a fourth stimulus check, we know that it would lift probably another 8 to 10 million people out of poverty, in addition to those people who have been lifted out of poverty earlier this year alone. Well, I mean, does that sound a little bit appetizing to people in Congress and the administration? Remember, this is something that is very important to them as they talk about it all the time. That is where they talk about the child tax credit payments. They are constantly citing how many people are being lifted out of poverty as a result of those. So we know that it is something very important to them. So in addition to this fourth stimulus check, we know that, a fourth stimulus check or any additional payments, things like that, could lift a lot of people out of poverty. So in my honest opinion, you might be wondering, okay, great, so this is the latest information, but what do we want to know? Like, what is my opinion on this? Realistically, do we think that a $2,000 stimulus check is going to be coming, or a $1,400 stimulus check? I'm going to throw it out there. I'm just going to say this. I don't really know, but if I had to put bets on it and say which one would actually be coming, I'd kind of lean toward maybe a $1,400 check. The only reason I'm saying that is because it is backed by this very influential, powerful advocacy group, the Senior Citizens League. They are the ones who are reaching out to Congress, petitioning them for this $1,400 stimulus check. So the simple fact that they are doing that, and it's $1,400, kind of makes me feel like, hey, if Congress is going to issue a fourth stimulus check, they may just go ahead with $1,400 because that is what the last one was back earlier this year from the American Rescue Plan that was passed by the Democrats through the reconciliation process. And they might just say, hey, $1,400, that was pretty good back then. Why don't we just do another $1,400? And now here's another thing too. I want to mention this. Do we think that a fourth stimulus check would be going to roughly 283 million people like stimulus check number 3? Now again, you might be wondering, 283 million, I thought it was 171 million. No, it was actually 171 million payments went out to roughly 283 million people. Okay, so I hope that makes sense, because here's what happened. For the stimulus check number 3, there were actually 171 million payments that went out the door. But when they were encompassing like a family of 3, they sent out one check to a family of 3, encompassing all 3 people, but yet it was one check. You know what I mean? So 171 million checks went out, but yet it encompassed about 283 million people, about 85% of our population. So hope that makes sense. But either way, my point is, do we think that we would be getting stimulus checks to 283 million people again? Probably not. Realistically, probably not going to happen. But we may see a fourth stimulus check focused on about 80 million to maybe up to about 100 million people. And that would encompass the lowest income individuals and all of the fixed income beneficiaries that we've been talking about for a while now, including Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, and RRB. So it would include all of those individuals as well as some of the lowest income individuals out there, right? So about 80 million to 100 million people is what we would kind of anticipate a fourth stimulus check going out to. And that would only cost probably about $200 billion at most. Provided that they send out a $2,000 stimulus check, it'd be about $200 billion. So again, you can see it wouldn't even cost that much money to get this whole thing done. So anyway, I wanted to let you know where we currently stand with all this stuff right now. But unless something really economically bad kind of happens, a fourth stimulus check would probably likely be focused on the lowest of the low income individuals and fixed income beneficiaries versus just like a broad stimulus check that went out to, 85% of our population. So anyway, kind of hope that lays it all out for you, and I hope it answers the questions for those of you who've been asking over the following or the last few days here and last few weeks. I've seen your comments down below, and I just want to answer those for you. So this is where we currently stand with everything going on regarding a $2,000 stimulus check and the $1,000 monthly recurring. As well as I gave you a quick little teaser on there. Well, I shouldn't say teaser. I pretty much gave you another update there as well on the $1,400 from the Senior Citizens League. So hope that all helps you out. I'll continue watching everything very closely. I'll be right here for you. I'll let you know any new updates as we get them. Enjoy your day. Subscribe right down below. And of course, share this video or any others here on the channel with your friends, family, and social media so I can continue to be here for you every single day to keep you updated with all this information. So thanks again. I appreciate it. I'll catch you again later.